So Arvind Kejriwal said exactly what I'm feeling right now of how terrible the situation really is. You know, you hear a lot about this in the news. We've shown this repeatedly on our broadcasts. But till you visit one of these landfills, you really don't realize the scale of the problem, the extent of the problem, and quite literally the mountain of the problem that is behind me right now. I wish I could show you around of the kind of residential buildings that are banged right outside the compound wall here at the Ghazipur landfill. But because of all of the truck activity, because of the tractors behind me working even at this time, we're unable to move around right now, and because I'm quite literally standing right now in garbage amid all of these mountains of filth around me. Let's also take you through why there's a need to clear these landfills immediately, because it has a huge impact on every Delhiite's life. If you're living in another part of Delhi and you think that this landfill, because it's far away from you, doesn't affect you, you're very wrong. And here's why. Let's talk about the impact of landfill. Focusing first on contaminated liquids, the fact that this is seeping into the soil and then into the water bodies, that itself leads to a lot of problems, because this kind of water that's contaminated spreads through the national capital and other parts. It's high on ammonia, on nitrates and heavy metals, which is extremely dangerous. Who's checking these water levels? The Yamuna itself, we all talked about it, how toxic it is. The froth that you see forming is largely also because of one of the contributors being these landfills. Another issue is air pollution. Now, while you talk about the air quality index across different parts of the national capital, here it's a basic problem of toxicities being spread across. Toxic chemicals are in the air right now. Furans, dioxins, polyaromatic hydrocarbons, oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. All of this is in the air. And that's also because you don't see any segregation. All waste being dumped here, being processed. And by processed, I mean literally being just covered up and dumped together to make more space for garbage. It means serious problems of fumes being spread across the area is also a concern. This is besides the fact, like I've been saying, of the terrible stench of filth that I'm getting through here. And that, of course, is something that people, unfortunately, perhaps tragically, are used to in these areas. Also, the issue of global warming. Believe it or not, these landfills are a huge danger to our environment because it releases carbon dioxide and methane gases as well into the air. So besides the air pollution, this could have adverse impacts on people's health if they're inhaling this air every single day. But for so many people living around this landfill, what choice do they really have? As we focus on the Ghazipur landfill, and we've been trying to get an answer, how can we actually deal with this? There's been a lot of talk about what's happened in Indore, how the landfills were taken care of there. That's something that they're trying to do here as well, to process the waste, use technology to get it done. But because of the extent of the problem here, it's going to take a lot more than that. The BJP's promise that by 2024, this landfill will be completely cleared. Will that actually happen remains a big question mark. But because the Aam Aadmi Party has put the focus on this landfill behind me, the Ghazipur landfill, which has hundreds of lakhs of metric tons of waste dumped right here for decades together,